All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. Looks like we've got DJ Smook 808 in the house. Good to see you, Smook. Haven't seen you here for a minute. Always good to see you coming back in. We have got Rick in the house wicking everybody a happy happiness. Let's try that again. We've got Rick in the house wishing everybody a happy solstice. I, too, am wishing y'all a happy solstice because solstice, frankly, to me, is better than Christmas. Because you know what? Everybody gets the gift of a little bit more light. A little bit more light. A little bit more light. Okay, you know what? That's a lie. Down in the southern hemisphere, it might be the opposite. But up here in the northern hemisphere, we're all going to be getting the gift of more light. Sure, you're not going to notice it at first. You're not going to notice it. The solstice elves are just going to leave sprinkles here and there. But eventually those sprinkles of light will build up. And come February, we might actually notice it. All right, so let's see who else we get in the house. We got Mama Sean in the house. We have got Darlene in the house. We have got, let's see here, Shagalak in the house. We've got DJ Smook, but I already said that. So it looks like we've got some good folk coming in today. And we are, I guess, going to get the party started. And then we're going to talk about something that I talked about yesterday on the movie stream because I didn't explain it well. And I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to leave somebody else who knows what they're talking about to explain it. So first off, let's party with the Black Cats, shall we? Do it. Boop. All right, there we go. And let's see here. Looks like Terry, Katie, and Baney Bo will be in the chat shortly. Phenomenal. I am, wait, hold on. That's weird. So wait. Oh, no. Okay. No, it's not. Terry, Katie, and Baney Bo will be in the chat shortly. Excellent. It looks like Terry has finally been able to get back on back on Twitch to stream. It sounds like, though, he might be trying to do, a little chatter show instead of the video games. So I'm assuming they're with him on his stream. But DJ Smook, is that what's going on? I haven't checked out Terry for quite some time. But he was definitely saying that he had problems with doing his American Truck Simulator. And other people were having troubles too. But I saw that he was streaming on Twitch, I think, on Friday. So what's going on? I mean, I guess I can ask Terry. But since you're here, maybe we can just talk about Terry behind his back. And, what? Oh, today you finished the Mexican wedding cake cookies? Darlene, you just have one more batch of cookies to tomorrow to then done. Woohoo! Dude, those Mexican wedding cake cookies look so gross. When I was a kid, I was like, why would anybody want to eat those? And then I actually tried one, and it's just like, oh, that's why everyone wants to eat those. Those are flippin' delicious. I've never made them before, but I do enjoy eating them. And it looks like we got Michael Anthony Smith in the house. Good. And he's streaming in Discord. Okay, that's what Terry's up to. And is he streaming his video game or is he just doing the chatter show? Because if he's just doing a chatter show, much respect to him. It's not as easy as one might think. And let's see here. Michael Anthony Smith coming in. I think I already said that, but that's okay. And oh no, you're out of fruitcake, Michael Anthony Smith. You know, it's easy to do. It is easier to eat that fruitcake than to not. All right, so for those of you who are a little bit unfamiliar with what's going on with Michael Anthony and his fruitcake, I sent him a fruitcake. It was a special batch because he did not want any alcohol in his fruitcake. And I have to tell you, the change of recipe absolutely made a very different product. But because, hey, E-Music, good to see you. Because fruitcake is made with dried fruits, it's required to soak the fruits in something before you make the fruitcake. That's just how that works. I had been soaking them in Captain Morgan Spice rum. But Michael Anthony was like, no, can't let that. So I was like, all right, so I I looked up what a substitute could be, and my first instinct was like, I don't know, apple juice, maybe? But then I was like, okay, orange juice, apple juice, or even pineapple juice. And then I thought, okay, well, pineapple juice probably makes sense with the Hawaiian Spam theme. But I asked Michael Anthony, he was like, what juice do you want to try? And he was all on board for the pineapple. So we've made the pineapple version of the alcohol-free fruitcake. And so, right, Darlene, there you go. Orange juice or pineapple? Yeah, for some reason, apple juice was the first thing that came to my mind. But then I was reading and they said that orange juice is really, quote unquote, the best. But then somebody else was like, well, if you really want to up your game, do the pineapple. So I thought I'd let Michael Anthony choose for himself. It was a lot sweeter than the one with the alcohol, even though I did add a little bit more Spam in his to sort of, because I knew it was going to be sweeter. So next time though, anyway, I promised him, and I can't say when I'm going to be doing it next. It will be soon, but probably after Christmas. I'll be making a batch with orange juice instead of the pineapple juice, and I'll be making a batch with apple juice instead of the orange or pineapple juice. He will be getting one of each, most likely at different times, and he will then be the creator of the non-alcoholic version. He will deem which one is the best flavor profile. He will be like, this is the one. It might be the pineapple one. It might be the orange one. It might be the apple one. We don't know. So there you go. We are in the midst of creating yet another iteration of the crazy fruitcake. And with each iteration, the recipe gets honed a little bit more. I think the next time I make a traditional one with the rums, I am going to reduce the fruit by about a quarter of a cup, maybe a half a cup, and I will increase the Spam by that missing half cup. So yeah, there we go. We are still creating the masterpiece that started out as a joke. And Darlene, yes, good. The more the merrier. I want all of the feedbacks for the fruitcakes, good and bad. And then I'm going to actually, I've already had 2 different people suggest this. So this is going to be happening. And I'm going to be the guinea pig on this one. I'm going to be making a Spam fruitcake with candied Spam, but instead of the Spam candied in bits, I'm going to keep it in thin layers and just candy the whole layer. Just the one long piece, like in a musubi, only maybe a little bit thinner. Anyway, and then I'm going to have the fruitcake batter, a layer of the Spam, more fruitcake batter, a layer of the Spam. So it'll be kind of like almost a lasagna effect. And so on top will actually be whole pieces of Spam, candied Spam on the top instead of the cubed bits that I had done. 2 people have suggested that. And then one of the people who works at the bar, he suggested, forget the fruit, just do candied Spam. Just do an entire candied Spam loaf. And that is a little frightening to me. But you know what? I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it soon. But I'm gonna do it. I'm probably only gonna do like a tiny batch, But yeah, I'm gonna see. But I think if y'all who've had some want more next year for Christmas, let me know, because yeah, this might be a new thing that I do. These weird Spam fruitcakes. It started as a joke, you guys. It really did. It really, really did. So, but I'm so thankful and happy that people are excited about it. And yeah, Michael Anthony Smith, I'll be trying an alcohol version of first off, the layered Spam one, like, if that is just atrocious, we won't be doing that again, right? But But if it ends up being okay, I'll even do a non-alcoholic version of the layered effect. And yeah, I'll probably be making, basically the full batch is 4 loaves, and then a half batch is just 2 loaves. So I'll probably just be making a half batch for all of the experimentals, and then that way I'll have a loaf, and then I'll have a loaf to share. And then if the loaf is gross, I'll be able to share 2 loaves, okay, since I won't want to finish the other loaf. So yeah, and then also, for all y'all who have tried or will be trying the Spam fruitcake, I have not done this yet, but my boss insists that it's really good with cream cheese. Hey, eMusic! Alright, we will see you hopefully soon. I just eat it plain, a thin slice plain with a little bit of milk. I mean, I drink the milk, anyway. But she really likes it with cream cheese, so do with that suggestion as you will. I have not tried it yet, mostly because I haven't had cream cheese in the house, but now I do, and so I'm going to be trying that. And, alright, so, enough about the crazy fruitcakes that probably should not exist. I wanted to share this little video with you guys because, well, Darlene, have you tried the cream cheese and tomato jam on crackers yet? No, however, that is on the plan for this evening after this after this stream. I plan on hanging out at my house, having little snacky poos, a little snacky plate, and that is exactly going to be the centerpiece of the snacky plate. So I haven't had it yet, but it is literally on the menu. And let's see here. Shock, home from the solstice bonfire, reeking of wood smoke and despair. Well, I don't know why you are reeking with despair, but I love wood smoke. Wood smoke is the best thing. I love it when my jacket smells like wood smoke. People think it stinks, but nope, I love putting on a jacket that's been by the open fire and smelling that smoke. Reminds me of when I was a kid, when we had a burning fireplace to keep our, not a fireplace, a wood insert to keep our house warm. And that fire you were at looked cool. Shock. Oh, she must have been posting pictures I did not see. And mostly just wondering your opinion of the gem. Oh, trust me, Darlene, you'll be the first person to hear about it. You will. I will probably be eating it and being on my Facebook Messenger you at the same time. You'll probably get a bite by bite like, oh, it first fills my mouth with the acidity, but then the allspice. Oh, my second bite. It's really you careful what you ask for. You might get more than you want. And and Mama Shum, once I finish playing around, I should submit the recipe to Spam. Maybe they will give you some Spam to play with or swag. Honestly, I would love some Spam to play with because one of the people at the bar had an idea that I was like, okay, I'm not doing that with my fruitcake. It's like, but it is a good idea. And his idea was using maple Spam and candying the maple Spam with more maple syrup. And then instead of dried, cherries and things, he was thinking dried blueberries. And it would be sort of like a pancake breakfast fruitcake. His vision was sort of a pancake breakfast kind of thing. And I thought that was a good idea. Definitely not the same. That's a whole separate thing. And it's a good thing to do. But I was like, I'm not putting blueberries or maple in my traditional Christmas Spam fruitcake. But who knows? We could end up with a series of 5 or 6 different Spam fruitcake varieties that no one in the world knew they needed, let alone asked for. And it'll all be because of Thomas the Turtle and Andy Boomatai, actually. Because apparently they were the two. Thomas was the one who brought up the fruitcake, and Andy has since used it as a link to help give money when you're shopping on Amazon to the Daily Pigeon Live. Speaking of Andy Boomatai, I don't know if you saw him Friday when he was online streaming, But it sounds like this is the last time he's going to be online streaming for this year, and he'll be back later in January, most likely. So we got to see him for just a minute at the very end of the new year, or old year, but the new year he will be back, it sounds like. And yes, exactly, a fruitcake empire starts here, and it all started with all y'all and all of us together being silly Billies, and then suddenly silly Billies turn into like, wait, did we just accidentally have a good idea? How did that happen? And speaking of how did that happen, well, you know what? No, we're not going to speak about that. We're going to get back to that though. But okay, so you guys, here's a question for you, and I'm not trying to like be all cynical, but well, here's a question for you. Are black swans native to Hawaii? I don't think they are, but are black swans, because if they are native to Hawaii, then what I'm about to say, I'm not going to say it because it doesn't apply. But are black swans native to Hawaii? Or in particular Oahu, I guess, actually, if you want really to be pinpointed. Because I'm under the impression they're not. And if they're not native to Hawaii, then I question the wisdom of them being on the island to begin with. Because that's how accidents happen. That's how, right, exactly, Rick. You're picking up what I'm laying down. No, just native to the Ko'olina Resort. Precisely. And, you know, while black swans are a stunning addition to the landscape, I kind of resent that Disney was allowed to bring them into their landscaping animals. And here's why, basically. I mean, this one was contained, but what if there was a hurricane?
A strange sight in Waikiki, a black swan on the beach far away from home. Nathan Shinagawa has the story.
This little dude has had quite the adventure over the last few days after leaving his home at the Ko'olina golf course.
So this young man, wasn't allowed to be where he was and was, bullied out of the area. And so instead of just finding a different place on the course, he actually flew. And originally he ended up out at Barbers Point area on Monday.
After making his way to Barbers Point, the swan flew even further, spotted in Waikiki Beach Tuesday evening. The swan was sighted multiple times on the beach Wednesday, where lifeguards encouraged guests to stay back and give it space until proper care arrived.
We have about 25 swans. They're all the black swans.
How just unusual is it for one of your swans to make it all the way to Waikiki? I mean, that's pretty far.
It is pretty far. The last time that I've heard that a swan went all the way to Waikiki was like 10 years ago.
The swan was caught, and Susan Wilkinson's nonprofit Susie's Duck Sanctuary helped return him to his home.
He needed the proper diet, he needed proper water, he was extremely dehydrated, they can't drink salt water, and he was in a really saltwater environment. He needs to be with his family, he needs to be with his kind, and that's part of the deal of keeping Hawaii, not having extra invasive species and keeping them contained in those special areas so we don't disturb the natural environment.
Upon its return, the swan was moved to a new area of the course away from where he was first phased out and received a harmless wing clip to keep him from getting lost again. Nathan Shinagawa, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
A strange sight in Waikiki, a black swan on the beach.
So, yeah, he heard all the hot chicks were on Waikiki Beach. Exactly. But for real, though, I do question this wisdom. 25, you don't need 25 to end up with a breeding population, right? I mean, they're already breeding on that. They're already breeding. You saw the little, not goslings, the swanlings. I don't know what they're called when they're baby swans. But yeah, okay, they're from Australia, right? And even though that one did end up on the beach, there's plenty of fresh water in and on Oahu, and so I just have to wonder, like, okay, so a hurricane blows through, they get all blown till wherever, and literally off course, and now suddenly we've got another invasive species another non-native species that is out loose and wandering. Just like all the chickens that are in Waianae or everywhere. Just like the mongoose, just like there's just, it just seems, I don't know, man. Like, I understand that you can clip wings, but here's the thing. Wings do grow back, and so, and clipping the wings still doesn't solve the problem of what if they accidentally get loose through some kind of natural disaster, because that's what happens. Yeah, chickens got there before Cook did. That's a good point, Shock. But what I mean by the chickens, though, is also the chickens were also let loose, you know, at one point on purpose. And so just having animals that aren't supposed to be there getting loose is a thing, right? And okay. Oh, Mama Sean, Ko'olani Golf Course is next to the Disney Resort, but it's not a Disney Resort. Okay, just looked at it. Okay, all right, good. All right, fair point, Mama Sean. But whoever it is, I guess just what I wonder is, like, how is it that the island allowed for whoever is in charge of that golf course bringing those animals in? Because they are, for the most part, not in cages. They are wandering around. They are, in theory, free to check out other parts of the island, unless, of course, you clip the wings. But you have to clip the wing, you know, multiple times a year, or at least once a year, because I know that clipped wings do grow back. Yeah, and just there's so many different if, ands, or buts, and with so many problematic, with the island having knowing they have such a history of accidentally introducing invasive non-native species, why would you go and do that again? That's, I guess, I don't expect any of y'all to have these answers, but I just, when I saw that, I mean, I was very happy that the swan got back to the golf course. And let me just tell you, Michi Mama drove me through the resort and the golf course. It is, the swans are beautiful. The swans are stunning. Not gonna lie, they're awesome. But you know what? I would have had just as much of an awesome drive through the golf course and the resort if I hadn't seen the black swans, if they weren't there. It's beautiful landscaping. It's okay, first off, it's a little too picture perfect for me over in that area. It's definitely not where I would want to be. But it is beautiful. And so, okay, shot coming in. Apparently Japan Airlines brought in those swans in the 90s. Okay. And then non-native animals are sketchy choice for any resort. Exactly, Mama Sean. And probably not allowed, just a loophole in the law for importing things. Well, when it comes to live animals, they have got to they've got to have, there's no there's got to be an acknowledgement of the loophole that regulates it or something. Okay, and Greg Nichols is the swan keeper. And let me just be clear, I'm not trying to disparage the work of Greg Nichols, the swan keeper, because right now he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job keeping them contained. My whole point is, what happens when something happens that he no longer can keep them contained? Probably a natural disaster or huge weather event, right? You know, I don't know. It seems a little weird. I am curious about because the Ko'olina Golf Resort hasn't been a golf resort since the 90s, has it? I know that the Disney Resort hasn't been there since the 90s, but the golf resort might have been already. But I am wondering, like, okay, so are those the same? Right, 90 is when they came in. So, like, where were they? Where did Japan Airline... Like, what... Okay, now I'm definitely going to go down a rabbit hole. I'm just very curious as to what they were brought in for and where they were kept prior to the golf course. And Mama Sean, I know trying to bring your domestic pets is hard enough, so I wonder how they did get the okay. Exactly. Now, here's something, though. Michael Anthony Smith, they bought a ticket to Hawaii on Japan Airlines. Duh. Like, Shock just said, they came in on Japan Airlines. But if they did come in with Japan Airlines, obviously not as a paying passenger, and I do believe they probably did, that stands to reason, Japan Airlines, especially in the 90s, was absolutely a power player in the islands in regards to, well, if anybody gets to bend the rules, Japan Airlines might be able to, right? And let's see here, Shock, if the swans are apparently pretty tame and they keep the wings clipped, maybe this guy just ducked the haircut line. Totally. I don't doubt that I absolutely think that these are the regulations that they have to abide by in order to be allowed to keep those swans. Got to keep them clipped, etc., etc. And hey, C Honda, I'm just wondering how black swans got introduced into the Ko'olina golf course area when Hawaii state has such strict rules and such a persistent history of problematic animals that were innocently or accidentally imported that suddenly ended up wreaking havoc to the entire ecosystem. And I just had to wonder, how is it that a resort, I blamed it on Disney at first, turns out they were not the culprit, but either way, how is a resort allowed to bring in, keep and maintain non-native species that very easily could escape? Because all it takes is a couple of them to skip that haircut line and their wings are boop-ba-doop-ba-doo. And let's see, it's very prohibitive. Yeah, okay, so just a clip from what Shock linked. Rick says, because swans are not native to Hawaii, they, Ko'olina, needed to jump through a lot of hoops with the Department of Agriculture to bring them in. It's very prohibitive in terms of rules, regulations, and costs. So I guess I just have to ask the Department of Agriculture, just what the flying fork are you thinking? And then I read further. Oh, right. Prohibitive in cost. Well, now, if you've got enough for the bribe, we'll happily let the black swans in. But the bribe, it's going to cost you, some would say, a prohibitive amount. I mean, is that what it boils down to? If you've got enough money to pay the fine, you can bring in whatever? Because that's sort of what I'm reading between the lines. Am I a cynic? Oh, heck yuck. Oh, heck to the yuck, I'm a cynic. But at the same time, prohibitive cost. So you can, as long as you can pay enough money, you can bring it in. And Darlene coming in with, Ko'olina's not the only one that has the black swan. And at the Budon Temple Cemetery also had a couple black swans there as well. What we saw just the last time we were there, a pond with koi fish, right? And so yeah, they claim about 24 birds. I wonder if they have periodically bring in new blood and serve goose. They call it goose, right. Could be. And so anyway, I'm very happy that the poor little swan did get back to where there's fresh water. Because yeah, how you spell heck yuck? Heck to the yuck. For the t-shirt, heck to the eck. That's how I would spell it, Rick. That's exactly. I don't know why I say heck to the eck, because I do, as opposed to hell yeah. It's heck to the eck. But just chart that as to another statterism that should be on a t-shirt. Heck to the eck. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I haven't had this in probably over a month because I haven't had it, but guess what I've got today? I've got my pamplemousse. I should be wearing my pamplemousse t-shirt that Kenny gave me. Ah, pamplemousse. This is going to be the first one I've had in almost a month. That was delicious. You just witnessed a thing of beauty right there. That's okay. It's okay. You don't know this. You don't know the saying yet. We don't have the t-shirt, Rick. You don't know the saying. The saying is heck to the eck. Although, yeah, heck yeck. That'll work too. That'll work. All right. Well, I was hoping for Terry to come in, but he's busy doing Terry things with his people. So we're going to maybe have to revisit this topic, later on when Terry comes back. But for those of you who were here last night, I was trying to describe a sports ball thing that happened, and it was a really exciting sports ball thing that happened, but turns out I was describing it all wrong. I mean, everything about it I pretty much got wrong, except for the backward pass part. But I want to share with you this video because the Seahawks and the Rams played a very important game on Thursday night. Both of them were 11-3 in the Western Division Conference. And so whoever won that was going to be the official number one in the conference. And so very, very, very important game. And the Seahawks were ahead at first, but then the Rams came back and were just obliterating the Seahawks. And it was not looking good. But then, near the very last minute, the Seahawks were all coming back, and it was 30 Rams, 28 Seahawks. And then something really weird happened, and nobody on the field knew it happened when it happened. And so yeah, here's what happened, all right?
Right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry.
That's true. That angle looks backwards there.
Terry, we're going to bring you in one more time. What are you seeing again?
That last shot we showed from overhead,
yep.
It's clearly backward. Even if it was parallel, that would be considered backward. So if we look at that overhead shot again,
yep.
He releases it, and it clearly goes backward to the point of first touching.
And that's where
and there's the recovery right there. That's in the clear and continuing action.
Can you imagine?
This is good. This is a good two-point conversion. Yes.
Wow. Imagine this announcement. This place will go ballistic.
I mean, for what's at stake, is this the craziest two-point conversion
ever
to
tie a game of this magnitude in the fourth quarter with 6:20 to go? So Brad Allen is the man of the moment right now and tells us.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback threw a backward pass, which was recovered in the end zone by the offense. It is a successful conversion.
That is the craziest ever.
Craziest ever.
Right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry.
Okay, so hold on. No reverb. Let's get reverb gone. There we go. All right, buttons. So, Andre, thanks for coming in, and Seahawks winning from behind. Abso-flip-lutely. Thank you for the 600 biddies and for those gift subs. Let's see here. That's an incomplete pass. Yeah, but then because he picked it up in their own end zone, they ended up getting 2 points for it. And the thing is Charbonnet, apparently, when he picked the ball up, he didn't realize that the ball was still in play because the whistle had already blown, which threw another whole weirdness in the whole what was the right call thing. So he picked up the ball and handed it over to the officials. So if like the other team had picked up the ball, the result would have been completely flippin' different. Either way, I learned a lot from watching that, even though I can't explain what I learned, and I obviously didn't learn it that well, but holy flirking snit, it was an exciting game. It was an exciting game. And so when I was trying to explain what I was trying to explain, it didn't work. And so I just thought I'd get the video and show y'all what I was trying to explain. And see Honda, oh, that hurts me to watch this. Yeah, I bet that game was painful for you because it was an amazing... Up in my area, the game was golden, dude. The game was well, I'm sure the game was a nail biter for you guys too. It just didn't end up being quite as exciting in the end as it was for us. And here we go, Rec. I guess it pays to be polite since the players don't have to pick up the ball for the refs. Exactly. Yeah, and so let's see here. Now, Darlene, we're going to be scrolling back up quite a little bit. Darlene is bragging, and she should be. I just got a package of the chili seasoning he gave you for us to try. He meaning Kenny from the Cove. So now I'll have to try making a batch of chili with that seasoning. I send him a few thank you cookies. Okay, so I can't remember what the seasoning was that... Oh, it was the Terlingua or whatever championship, Terlingua brand championship chili seasoning mix, I think is what he said. Now, Darlene, Rick, I don't know how spicy you like your food. I don't like it super spicy, but the instructions say that you can use an optional, you can optionally add 2 Serrano chili peppers. So I did do that, sort of. I cooked the chili peppers in with everything, but then they say to remove the chili peppers and squish them to get all the chili pepper oil in and juice into the chili. I didn't do that. And not doing that, for me, that level of spice was perfect. It cooked in it, but I didn't squeeze the extra. So I would suggest using the Serranos, but then maybe not squeezing them like they say. Now, if you like spicy, then squeeze away, baby doll. But for someone, for me, like me, who can maybe only handle medium level spice, and by medium level, I mean white person medium level, I did not squeeze the chili peppers. But what I did do is swallow my spit wrong. All right, so Andre, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. We are still, geez, we are at level 2. Awesome, dude. It's craziness. I don't even know how we got to level 2, but cool. All right, and Shock, I'm gonna have to hit the Rockville Hard Times Cafe for some Terlingua. I always just say that wrong. Red, next time you're in the DMV. DMV. What's the DMV? Is that the Department of what's the DMV? Is that the Department of Motor Vehicles? Or is that Dallas makes very good chili? Or is that what is the DMV? And all right, Andre, thank you so much. We've got even more. And C Honda, thank you so much for the $3. And let's see here. Nope, not going to do that. I think would be a bit too spicy with the squeezing of the peppers. Yeah, more medium level spice here too. Right, yeah, so I feel like, obviously, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Gotcha. Okay. I never, ever would have guessed that. Mostly because I always forget that Delaware exists. And I know that's offensive because they were number 1. The first ones to sign on the thingamabobs. I think, the 13 colonies or something like that? But I always forget. The only thing I know about Delaware is in Wayne's World, when they're playing with the green screens or the blue screens. I think they were green screens back then, though. They were in Delaware, and they're like, "Oh, look, we're in Delaware." They didn't have anything to say about Delaware either. Oh, they're known for tax-free corporations. Oh, that's why all of the credit card companies are based out of Delaware. That makes sense. That makes sense. And Shock used to get a Terlingua for lunch once a week or so when I was up there. You keep making me hungry. And really, Michael Anthony Smith, Delaware has the closest beaches to you? Not the Jersey Shore. I always think of the Jersey Shore as where where Pennsylvania people go. I'm gonna have to look up a map. I know I've never been known to bring out a map, but yeah, I'm gonna have to, find a map. Delaware is closer and cheaper. Not surprised that it's Rehoboth. I don't know what that word is, dude. I know what Ocean City. I can say those letters, but Rehoboth. I don't know how to say Rehoboth. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Okay, sounds good to me. And Andre, Delaware was a slave state. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised that I didn't know that. And I definitely didn't know that it started out as a Swedish colony. And let's see here. Michael Anthony Smith is saying Rehoboth is about 20 minutes from Ocean City, Maryland. All right, there we go. And like we can say Seattle. Why can't you say Seattle? Rick, are you making fun of my pathetic English speaking skills? And I know exactly Rehoboth. So Beth became a hoe again, or Rehode, or exactly. And by the way, though, Shuck, Seattle is easy enough to say. The problem is, Seattle isn't really what his name was. We were named after Chief Seattle, but it's actually Sealt. And so we don't even say Seattle right in Seattle. Now, if you can't say Puyallup or Squim, I can understand. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, these are the words I'm talking about. And Squim and Puyallup confuse people. But to be fair, Wisconsin and Minnesota have some pretty forked up names too that people from the West Coast can't understand. And they're all Native American names, just like Squim and Puyallup are. But yeah, the Midwest has some Native American names that are just like, yeah, what's with all the W's? All I see is W's. Can I say, I just want to say Skuckle. I want to say Skuckle. I don't know. No, I cannot say that, actually. Yes, exactly, like what? Schoolkill. Don't even try. Oh, actually, Schoolkill did cross my mind, but I was like, that seems too easy. Unlike Schoolkill. Okay, but hold on. Oconomowak. Rick, I'm saying Oconomowak. Is that not even? I'm sure. And Mama Sean, your dad was from California and always had trouble with Mukilteo. I can appreciate that. Yes, I can definitely appreciate that. And then, oh God, you guys. Bala Sinwood. No, that's not how you say it. You know, Rick, I want to know how to say it, but there's probably no way you could spell it out for me to get it. Bala Sinwood? Bala Kinwood. Bala Kinwood. Bala Kunwood. Well, yeah, no, see, right. See, exactly. Y'all East Coast people have crazy words too. Might not be Native American, it might be Welsh, because that definitely looks more Welsh than Native American. Darlene, Oconomowoc. Oconomowoc. Oconomowoc? No, is it Oconomowoc? Oconomowoc? I don't even know what I said before. So Oconomowoc. Okay, cool. See, and words like that are sort of like Hawaiian words in the sense that like, when you look at them and you're like, oh no, I gotta figure out how to say all those letters. And then you sound them out and then you practice it a few times. And then it comes out, it's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. But boy, you gotta practice sometimes the Hawaiian words. And I'm gonna say the Wisconsin words too. Yeah, dude, Andre, for sure. Back East names are hard. And oh my God, Oconomowoc is not Native American. It's Irish for I ain't walking no more. You got to be kidding me. Wow. But then the Susquehanna River, isn't the Susquehanna River Susquehanna? Because I've heard that word before. And no, it's not And oh, so, okay, all right. Shock is angry. Susquehanna. Yeah, that I knew how to say. That, or vaguely knew how to say. And Andre, actually, Easterners do have a problem with all the Spanish names, but you know what, actually, Northwesterners do too. For the longest time, I thought that it was thought it was La Quinta, okay? I thought it was La Quinta. For the longest time, I thought the hotel was called La Quinta. La Quinta, that's how you say it. And I live on the West Coast. I should know better. I know better now. But it wasn't until I was in my, 30s that I learned how to say it. And so, yeah, okay. And we would say San Luis, but Cindy says Lewis. Oh, yeah, no, right, yeah, no, it would be, no, it would, yeah, and Cindy says it right. And okay, Darlene, clarification, gotcha, yes, and Rick, okay, you were kidding me. And the double L in Spanish here sends people, it's a Y sound. Yeah, it is, yeah, it's sort of a Y sound, sort of a modified Y sound, but I knew that. I learned that part when I was in high school. But the La Quinta, it's not that. It's not La Quinta. It's not La Quinta. It's La Quinta. I know that now. And so I think East Coast people who know Spanish would say they say it more like with Spanish, whereas people who live there no more bother. Got it. And Washington was never Mexican or a Spanish state, so I do have a little bit of an excuse. However, there's one thing I don't have an excuse for, except for the same excuse I always have, which is you talk too much, you lose track of time, and we're like almost 10 minutes past a Lono flippin' listening break. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna listen to some Lono. And I hope that Puzzycat and Kylo are here for the event, because it was chosen just for Kylo, and that is right, words are jarred. And Andre, it's funny, you take a little bit of Spanish and then you know all the real names of what the streets are, and you're like, oh, that's what that means. Yes, just like I say pamplemousse, although the thing is I actually do know how to say pamplemousse in real life, pamplemousse, but I prefer the pample. The pample kind of moose. All right, you guys. We're going to listen to a quick song about traveling rocks, but then we're going to listen to another song about a Hawaiian moose. Okay, it's not a Hawaiian moose. It's a Hawaiian reindeer. Okay, it's not a Hawaiian reindeer. It's Rudolph. But before we listen to Rudolph, we're going to listen to different Lono. Let's listen to some Lono.
E hele pohaku, the traveling rocks of Molokai. Okay, sustain. Okay, Mo Mike. Key of A if you got him. Kaulana o Molokai ia hele pohaku mai waila vava uluvehe hana mene huni ke ia pola haoli mene huni e mai a me ai one by one e hele pohaku to the other side e hele pohaku one by one e hele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other side. Kaulana o Molokai ia hele pohaku mai waila vava uluvehe hana mene huni ke ia pola haoli mene huni e mai a me ai one by one e hele pohaku to the other side e hele pohaku one by one e hele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other side. Luna o mauna I ke mapule ma ke kai ku home ili o pai ka hale ko inoa ele aku ka ko e pohaku o wailau one by one ele pohaku to the other side ele pohaku one by one ele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other side. Hele iluna o mauna I ke mapule ma ke kai ku home ili o pai ka hale ko inoa hele aku ka ko e pohaku o wailau one by one hele pohaku to the other side hele pohaku one by one hele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other side. Ia mai ana kapuana Molokai ka o mea hele pohaku one by one hele pohaku to the other side hele pohaku one by one hele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other. Let's go Beriuni. Ia mai ana kapuana Molokai I ka o me ia hele pohaku one by one hele pohaku to the other side hele pohaku one by one hele pohaku to the other side pa 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 pohaku to the other side. traveling rocks of Molokai. E hele po aku.
All right. Andre coming in with a lesson in street names or town names. And I have to tell you, if I remember, I'm trying to remember if I've ever been through Vacaville. I feel like I have. And if I remember correctly, Vacaville is totally a cow town. Like, it is agricultural. If it's what I'm thinking of, it's kind of a cow town. I mean, I realize obviously that's not what it was meant to be called, given the history of the founder's name, etc. But as it turns out, if you name it, they will come. We have a neighborhood in Kent called Pantera Lago, and guess where Pantera Lago is built upon? That is right, it's built upon Panther Lake. So even here in the Pacific Northwest, we have some little Spanish names going on, but they're very out of place because we just don't. We were never part of Mexico. And let's see here, Katie's Aura coming in. I'm assuming perhaps that a Terry in Scotland might be here as well. And aha, sorry you're late, Baity Bo. Katie and I were deep in a heavy Uno game. There you go. Well, I don't know if you were playing with the draw 25 cards rule, but I hope that no one made anyone draw 25 cards. And eMusic, you're back. Perfect. All right, so let's see here. You've been through Vacaville. If you don't like Mare Island in Vallejo, Molly. I've been through Vacaville. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, no, that's all right. That's not where I thought it was, but I have been through Vacaville. So there you go. And Scary in Scotland says C Honda. Okay, so I feel a little bit bad about this. On the other hand, it's only like a minute and a half. And on the other hand, I don't have a whole lot left to talk about. So, for those of you who've been here for the entire stream, forgive me. Terry in Scotland, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, for that 10,000 biddies. Or no, 1,000 biddies. It might as well be 10,000. It's all, I see it as 10. That's what it is. So thank you so much. And anyway, Terry, you were here last night, and I was trying to explain something very poorly. Hey, Baity Bo, good to see you. So I was trying to explain a football thing very poorly the other night, whenever I was trying to explain it. So I'm going to, and apologies for all y'all who've been here and saw this, I'm going to show you a little video clip of what I was trying to explain in regards to the 2-point thing and whatever. So we've already watched this once, but it is only like less than 2 minutes. So bear with me. Terry was very invested in this conversation the other day. And I was explaining what happened so poorly that I feel obliged to let him know what it was that I was trying to explain, because I didn't explain it well. So Andre, thank you so much for the 500 biddies. And thank you so much, Andre, for gifting all of these gift subs. And let's see here. All right. So Terry, this is for you. This is that backwards, the backwards pass that ended up with points being earned when nobody understood that there was going to be points to be earned. And these 2 points brought it from 28-30 to 30-30. And I explained it adequately. Was the refs that explained it poorly? Well, Rick, you are very kind. I'm still unsure about that. But here we go. This is what happened, so you know what the flying fork it was that I was trying to talk about.
Right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry. That's true. Right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry. That's true.
That angle looks backwards there.
Terry, we're going to bring you in one more time. What are you seeing again?
That last shot we showed from overhead, it's clearly backward. Even if it was parallel, that would be considered backward. So if we look at that overhead shot again, he releases it, and it clearly goes backward to the point of first touching.
And that's where
and there's the recovery right there. That's in the clear and continuing action.
Can you imagine?
This is good. This is a good 2-point conversion. Yes.
Wow. Imagine this announcement. This place will go ballistic.
I mean, for what's at stake, is this the craziest 2-point conversion
ever?
Ever?
To tie a game of this magnitude in the fourth quarter with 6:20 to go. So Brad Allen is the man of the moment right now. It tells us.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback threw a backward pass, which was recovered in the end zone by the offense. It is a successful conversion.
That is the craziest ever.
Craziest ever.
Right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry.
That's true. That angle looks backwards there.
Terry, we're going to bring you in one more time. What are you seeing again?
That last shot we showed from overhead, it's clearly backward. Even if it was parallel, that would be considered backward. So if we look at that overhead shot again, he releases it, and it clearly goes backward to the point of first touching.
And that's where
and there's the recovery right there. That's in the clear and continuing.
Okay, so we watched that 1.5 times here. So, Gil Soto, good to see you. Good to see you. And oh no, the Terrys are in disagreement. Exactly. And so a backwards pass that bounced forward into the end zone and hit the ground. Rick, this is, you bring up a good point about it hitting the ground. And this is actually a metric that I don't understand. I come from sports, the only sports that I really come from is soccer back in the day, softball back in the day, and more recently and more in depth to the rules, roller derby. And what I don't understand is the ref had blown the whistle, regardless of whether or not it was a backwards pass or not, okay? Which is an issue. The ref had blown the whistle calling the end of the play. The whistle was blown, calling the end of the play. Seattle picked up the ball. Now suddenly, what, the play is not over? Like, that's what I don't understand, is how something that took place after the whistle was considered a continuation of the play, which is the metric they were using to explain why. Well, no, it was it was continuing action from the play, even though the whistle had already been blown, which leaves me E-Music. It should have been dead after the whistle was blown. I agree, but see, Gil Soto is saying because the ball was live. I don't know what you mean by that, Gil, but let's just assume you are totally right, because I think that this is the nuance that I really need to understand. If the ball was live, why did the ref call the play dead? If the ball was live, why did the ref blow the whistle? And here's the deal. In roller derby, if the ref erroneously ends the game with an incorrect whistle to stop the play, it doesn't matter if it was wrong or not. The play still was stopped. So I don't understand. Why, even if the whistle is blown in error, the play still stops. And so I just don't understand how the ball was still live after the referee called it dead. My next question is, what makes you say the ball is live, and why didn't the referee see that the ball was live? Why didn't and if the ref saw the ball was live, why did he call the play dead? These are all the questions that I have, because I was an official in roller derby, and I understand that it's these weird nuances that the referees need to understand. It's these metrics that they need to know by heart. Like, the play is not dead until the ball is dead. The ball becomes dead after this, that, or t'other. And so Gil is saying, no, that ball was not dead yet, and which I think you must be right. But if the ball wasn't dead yet, then why in the flying fork did that ref blow the whistle? And so Gil is saying, because initially the ball looked like a pass. And before that, Gil was saying, Rick said, a lateral can hit the ground and be recovered by the defense, but a pass can't hit the ground before it's recovered. Okay, I think I understand. I mean, I think I get it now. Because eMusic, to me, I'm on your side. It should have been dead after the whistle was blown. That's kind of where I'm. But they didn't realize it wasn't a pass. Until upon review, once they realized it was a lateral and not a regular, different rules abide. Okay. I guess the ball was reincarnated in the end zone. It was a Buddhist or Hindu football. Yeah, exactly. And eMusic, I've seen the ref say a ball is dead after blowing the whistle. Right. And so, but LA took the ball down first. Right. Yeah. And that's going to be a replay that we don't necessarily need to rewatch it because we've already watched it 3 times today. By the way, I want to thank you for allowing this, beating a dead horse of this topic. I want to thank you for allowing me to do this because it has been in my mind since last Thursday. I just really didn't understand. Gil, Rick, I think that you guys have finally made the connections that I need then to wrap my brain around what the flying fork just happened. And let's see here. Unless they have a new rule that makes backward passes recoverable. Yeah, no clue about that. And Shock is saying, the whistle is irrelevant as long as the recovery of the ball is clear and immediate. Replay is free to reverse to a live ball and recovery so long as the recovery is deemed T. And I'm sure there's more to it than that. Right, see, and this is why the refs get paid the good money, for real. Hey, Picola T, good to see you. We're talking about the Seahawks-Rams game and the weird 2-pointness that that nobody understood was happening until after it happened. And what it's about is the refs are giving favor. Well, yeah, a lot of people say that. On the other hand, earlier in the night, all the people in the bar were complaining that the refs were giving the Rams all the benefit of the doubt and not the Seahawks. So, you know, whatever, I guess turnabout's fair play and deemed to be made in continuing action, which Carpenter's certainly was. And well, and right, I get, okay, so so Shock brings up a phrase that I need to have better defined for me, which is it was deemed to be made in the continuing action. And the continuing action is the phrase that I keep coming across when trying to figure out what was happening, but I don't know exactly what continuing action is defined by. So yeah, so there we go. And source, Terry McCulley, former NFL referee for 2 days and the NFL rules analyst for NBC Sports, which I think is who the announcers were talking about when they said, we're going to need Terry on this one. And I do know that a couple announcers, when it happened in real life, on various platforms, a few people did actually call it for what it eventually was going to be called. They were like, to me, that looks like it was a backward pass, then blah, 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 and it should have been blah. And eventually it did get to be what that was. But for the most part, it didn't seem like anybody on the field understood what exactly happened there. All we know is at the end of the play, it went from 28 Seahawks, 30 Rams to 30 Seahawks, 30 Rams, and it had to go into overtime after that. and therefore good game. Pacola T off to a show. Have a great week, everyone. She says, you too, Pacola T. Hopefully you will have a wonderful Christmas week. All right, so every good ram deserves favor. Yep. Well, there you go. I've heard every good boy deserves fudge, but every good ram deserves favor. That'll work too. And let's see here. I don't know the answer to that backward pass thing. Yeah. Well, what we do know is right before this stream started, I did see an article that came out like maybe 15 minutes before this stream started. And it's an article about the backwards pass. And the rules have changed many times over that very issue. And the coach for the Rams is super pissed about this, obviously. And he is calling for a rule change. But the analyst who wrote the article about how pissed off the Rams coach isn't likely to get a rule change about this. But even if he did get a rule change, it wouldn't affect the game that was played, because everybody does agree, it seems, that, yeah, eventually the right call was made. Everybody except for Rick and Terry, that is. Rick and Terry hold completely different viewpoints, and I'll bet you C Honda does too. But for the people who actually get paid to do these types of calls, it seems like a lot of people are in agreement that eventually the right call was made. And Terry and Rick, and maybe Gil, they all said that it was the overhead cam. The angle of the overhead cam was the only way they could have determined the backwards pass. That was the only angle that caught the or the only angle of camera that caught the angle of the ball properly. So there was only one, it was like a drone footage or whatever, that was the angle that caused the call to be what the call is. And yes, Rick, I agree. Watching an overtime game at the bar always costs more money. Yes, it does. Luckily, however, this particular night, there's the bartender who generally gives me discounts. So it didn't cost nearly as much as other nights at the bar. Because one of the bartenders doesn't charge me full cost for the drinks. And by the way, she has permission from the owner for this. It's not like she's stealing from the bar. The owners just, I guess, I don't know, like me. And the other bartender doesn't like me that much. I don't really know. I have no problem paying full price. But one of the bartenders doesn't charge me full price. And luckily, the overtime game was on her night. So it wasn't nearly as costly as it could have been. And yeah, Rick, I've been not mentioning your game from the other night because things got sad for you. So we didn't want to bring up Rick's sad game. And exactly, friends in high places. That's exactly it. That's precisely it. And so sometimes you just gotta bring out your personality, and then if they like you, you might get cheap drinks, and if they don't like you, then you get to pay full price. All right, you guys, we've got 10 minutes left, and we've got another Lono listening break. So, this is our seasonal Lono, and after this, maybe we can talk about food, because, well, as it turns out, this song's about food, too.
Okay, we all know Christmas is right around the corner next week. So here's a Christmas song from Molokai. To all the kids out there and Santa Claus, okay? Oh, Rudolph got ran over by my tutu, bringing Christmas presents for the mo'opuna. No one was a-looking, now Rudolph is a-cooking, 'cause Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas Eve. Sing it out loud, don't tell the kids. Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas Eve. Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas Eve. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas. Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas. Rudolph tastes so good on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas.
All right, so thanks to Rick for recovering this wonderful Lono music, this wonderful Lono music tune. Michael N. Smith, you never heard that one? Yeah, Lono released it on his YouTube channel many years ago, right before Christmas. But then he did take it down, and so you can't see it anymore. And so I used to have it on my hard drive. But that hard drive my external hard drive, but that hard drive got corrupted. Didn't have it anymore. Rick, however, did the due diligence and went back and found it off of one of my previous streams. And he also found it, I think he found it in 2 places. But either way, thanks to Rick, we have it back in our library of Lono listening tunes. We won't be pulling it out very often, of course. But during the Christmas season, that's just when it's meant for. And exactly, Andre, deer are invasive, so eat them on Molokai, precisely. And yes, Darlene, you've had venison, quite tasty, precisely. I've had some really good venison, I've had some really bad venison, but that all depends on how the hunter preps and hangs and does their meats. But venison, super good. Moose, super tasty. Elk, I love even better. But, so what are you guys going to be having this coming holiday evenings? Are you going to do you have any traditional foods that you do for Christmas Eve or for Christmas Day? I'm going to be making some clam chowder on Christmas Eve night because Christmas Eve night, that's from the Department of Redundancy Department now, isn't it? On Christmas Eve, I'll be making clam chowder because that's always what our family did. And no one remembers or knows why or how we got on the clam chowder on Christmas Eve tradition. But we did. And we've managed to carry it on, even though my sister and I both basically don't talk to each other. We still both admit to eating clam chowder every Christmas Eve because you're supposed to. That's right, Rick. You found it on my channel and you found it again on your PC. It was a double play, right? And Andre, I've had horrible venison sausage from Whole Foods, so never try it again. Ha! Andre, yes. For so many reasons. First off, I've got so many thoughts about the Whole Foods venison. Okay, first off, Whole Foods venison, anytime you buy venison commercially, it is, Terry and Skyland, I prefer elk to venison as well. I totally agree. But anytime that you buy venison commercially, it's not wild caught, obviously. It is farm raised. Farm raised venison, farm raised elk, farm raised bison, all of these taste a little bit different than their wild counterparts. Also, venison are notoriously lean, actually wild game are notoriously lean, but even farm raised venison, notoriously lean. And you can't really make good sausage with lean meat. Venison sausage, even when it's made by a hunter, is generally the grossest thing you can do with your venison. I mean, they have parts of venison, like, you're gonna get sausage out of your venison, but it's the least tasty part, right? So I'm not at all surprised that when you tried venison in the method that you tried it, like, it's just not good. The texture's wrong. Everything's just not good. If you had, like, some some teriyaki venison skewers, you know, or kebabs or whatever, you'd have a completely different understanding of what venison can be like. Because even as someone who likes wild game like elk or venison sausage is gross, dude. It's just gross. It's not, it just don't even come at me with that. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross. It does taste like it's off. Yeah, exactly. It just, no. So just, no. But farm-raised buffalo, super tasty, super tasty. And Costco sells, the bison. I don't think they sell venison either. Generally, when you see like elk and venison, it's usually at like specialty butchers. I know that the B&E meats in Burien, they have elk and venison on occasion. Usually more elk than venison. But it's all commercially, agriculturally raised. It's not like, you know, Jeff Smith Hunter killed something and then gave it to B&E meats to process and turn into sausage and steaks and stuff. It's it's an actual farm ranch, venison ranch. I don't actually know what you would call a venison ranch. But Darlene coming in with her wonderful meal plan: fresh Polish sausage, baked ham, baked cheesy potatoes, sourdough bread, veggies, and Christmas cookies. That sounds like a beautiful, beautiful meal. And I had some pepper jack venison sausage today. It was good. Okay, all right, Trail Dust just treating my opinion like it is, like it needs to be disregarded. And you know what? That's right. My opinion does need to be disregarded, because it sounds like Trail Dust found himself some tasty sausage. You know what though, Trail Dust? The cheese, pepper jack venison sausage, honestly, adding cheese to the venison sausage is really a good idea, because that adds the fat that venison naturally doesn't have, and that might be the beautiful addition that made yours tastier than the one that I had. Because I guess what I'm saying is, you can add cheese to anything, and I'll be like, oh, well, maybe I'll try it now. oh, there's cheese in it? Oh, well, maybe I should try it. And Andre coming in, I get my buffalo from Misfit Market, and they also have elk sometimes. Nice. I didn't realize that they had, that Misfit Market had any kind of elk, or not really surprised about the bison, but had no idea about the elk. And let's see here. From Goofle, unlike a forward, oh, we're talking about footballs again. Okay, unlike a forward pass, a backward pass, lateral, remains a live ball even when it hits the ground, meaning it can be recovered and advanced by either team. Okay, all right, there we go. And let's see here. Terry, is this what you are dreaming of, or are you going to actually get mutton, lamb, potatoes, carrots, onions, marrow fat peas, and rich gravy? Is that what you're hoping to make or get or buy for the holiday? And let's see here. Rick, he's just like, well, the game's over when the time runs out. I guess that's a good point. But I still hear eMusic. So when would you ever call the game over? I can absolutely see how that question came about as well. Because, I mean, I guess if no one had picked up that ball, eMusic, and the refs picked it up, I guess then the game would have, the call or the play would have been over, I guess. And let's see here, Mama Sean, we had a buffalo farm just down from our first home in the Pacific Northwest. One of our eldest son's first words, nice, buffalo. I assume that that's what it was. Let's see here. And then eMusic wants to know what's the difference between mutton and lamb. And eMusic, I think that lamb is lamb and mutton is sheep. It's like a grown-up lamb. Mutton is, yep, all right, here we go. Terry in Scotland. Mutton is from an adult sheep, whereas, and Mama Sean coming in, mutton is grown versus young is lamb. All right, there we go. And Terry, oh, that's what you get from Tesco all the time. Their steak and gravy is delicious too. All you need is pastry for a pie. Yum, yum. And let's see here. Darlene coming in with good questions. Terry, so comparing the adult sheep meat to the lamb meat, is the mutton more dense, a different flavor, texture? I have definitely heard that it's a different flavor. In fact, I've heard that it's stronger flavor, gamier, but definitely a stronger flavor. That being said, I've never had lamb, and I've only once, maybe, I think, have had mutton. I think, maybe. I don't actually know what it was, but I think in retrospect, I think I was eating mutton. But yeah, the mutton apparently has a stronger flavor. And also from what I understand, and Terry, obviously correct me, I hear it's like kind of a greasier meat. Lamb isn't necessarily, or maybe the way the lamb is prepared is just different, but mutton is kind of a greasier meat from what I understand. Which I guess would explain the stronger flavor, because the fat is where the flavor generally is. So, but from what I understand, mutton is a little bit greasy. And I had a kebab at a Middle Eastern place, of some kind of unknown meat. It was ground meat, and it was put on the skewer and then cooked. And I definitely don't know what it was that I was eating. Like, when I ate the meat, I was like, I don't know what meat this is. It was unrecognizable to my tongue. And it was pretty good, but then, like, I got maybe 3/4 of the way done, and then I was like, whoa, this meat is, like, heavy in my stomach. I don't really know if I like this meat anymore. And so I didn't finish the whole kebab. And okay, that sounds like a doner kebab. Now, is a doner kebab, what is that? Is that mutton? What is that? I don't know. I've heard of doner kebabs, but I don't know what those are. Besides something that, to me, it happens they eat them in Europe. I've heard of them in Europe. And Michael Anthony Smith, you'll eat Spam, but not mystery meat. And that's valid, because Spam is not mystery meat. People like to think it is. People like to act like it is. People like to tell you it is. But Spam is just pork and ham. So, mystery meat? No. Spam? Heck to the heck. Heck to the heck, we'll eat some Spams, because we know what it is. We know that it came from, what is it, Minnesota? Or, no, Minnesota? We're going to say it comes from Minnesota. Is Spam from Minnesota? We're going to say it is. Ham is also pork. Well, yes, but ham is a type of treated pork. Like, it's a cured pork. It's different. You can't say that ham, that all ham is pork, but not all pork is ham. That's what I'm trying to say. And Spam is from Minnesota. All right, there we go. And yes, time is pow. And okay, so, all right, Terry's saying, though, that the doner kebab, that's made from human meat. Doner kebab is made from ground mutton packed around a rotating stick. They shave the mutton off as it's done. I'm confused. Oh, you can buy uncured ham too? Well, then what makes ham ham? I thought that ham was cured pork and stuff. Y'all, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And on that note, I'm going to just stop talking. Not because I don't know what I'm talking about, but because time's over. Because I always don't know what I'm talking about, and that's never stopped me now, but we're 4 minutes past the bottom of the hour, so I need to stop talking. All right. Hopefully, we will see each other on Wednesday, where we'll most likely talk about food. Because why? Because why not? Okay? All right. There we go. Have a good week. Hope you had a good weekend. And yes, we can continue this conversation next time. In fact, that's exactly what we'll be doing. Let's talk about Christmas ham and how ham becomes ham. All right. Is it used for cured with celery, which is still nitrates? Uncured. Oh, okay. All right. Well, now Shock's getting all scientifical. Y'all, it's time to turn off the clock when we're getting scientifical. Wait, the clock? No, the camera. Whatever. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for chatting. Thank you guys so much for subbing, resubbing, gift subbing. Thank you guys so much for donating biddies. But mostly, thank you guys for coming in with science. That's right, Shock. You don't be sorry for coming in with sciences. Science just means I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's okay. We all love science. And yeah, most likely I'll be streaming on Wednesday. If not, then I won't, and I'll let you guys know. But right now, let's just plan on Wednesday stream, and we might even discuss the Christmas ham. All right, then. Until next time, see you later. Have a good one.